JBN, we keep you informed. Asafa Powell wife Alicia expecting. Newlyweds Asafa Powell and his Canadian wife Alicia are expecting. The Olympian's wife revealed her bump to her over 17,000 Instagram followers yesterday morning in a show of support for Mother's Day, which was celebrated yesterday. My little bun in the oven, and I am wishing all mothers an amazing Mother's Day. Today and every single day you are appreciated and celebrated. Hashtag Happy Mother's Day, Mom, she posted. The two got married on Saturday, February 19 at the Rose Hall Great House in the second city in the presence of close friends and family members. Powell had popped the question to his longtime girlfriend last February. Woman killed in freak accident after tree branch falls on car. There was tragedy along the Duns River Main Road in St. Anne on Saturday after a branch fell onto the vehicle in which she was traveling. The deceased woman has been identified as Gloria Basco. The driver of the vehicle, another woman, was left nursing injuries and has been admitted to the hospital in stable condition, the police's corporate communications unit said yesterday. Reports are that the two were in the vicinity of the Mystic Mountain leisure venue about 4:40 p.m. when a branch fell on top of the vehicle. They were both taken to the hospital where Basco died. Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucian Jones, reacted to the incident on Twitter, remarking that it was sad. 4 shot, 2 fatally in Riverton Meadows. 4 persons were shot, 2 fatally, in 2 separate incidents in the Riverton Meadows area of St. Andrew on Sunday. The deceased were identified as Orlando Turner and Lorraine Davey. Their ages have not yet been ascertained. Reports are that about 8 p.m. residents heard a number of loud explosions and alerted the police. 2 men were subsequently found suffering from gunshot wounds. They were rushed to the hospital where Turner was pronounced dead. Less than an hour later, while investigators were at that scene, they were called over to Riverton Crescent where 2 men were found with gunshot wounds. The men were taken to the hospital where Davey was pronounced dead. The police are investigating if the 2 incidents were related and if the second shooting was in response to the first incident. A team of officers from the Hunts Bay Police Station is presently investigating. 2 girls ages 15 and 16 drowned in East Kingston. The Rockford Police in East Kingston are investigating a case of suspected drowning involving 2 females in the community of Bayshore over the weekend. The deceased have been identified as Ashanti Thomas, 16, and Brianna Linton, 15. Reports are that Thomas and Linton were among a group of people at a river in the community on Sunday when both of them got into difficulties and drowned. The bodies were later recovered by residents. Castor Brown dies of heart attack. Castor Brown, a respected figure in British reggae, died on Saturday in London from complications of a heart attack. He was 68 years old. Brown suffered a heart attack at home 4 days earlier and was admitted to Croydon University Hospital in South London, his daughter Theresa Brown said. Born in Port Antonio, Portland, Brown was part of a closely-knit Jamaican reggae community in the United Kingdom. He migrated there in 1961 and started his music career working with the influential Coxsone sound system, owned by fellow Jamaican Lloyd Coxsone Blackford. Later, he formed Morpheus Records, which produced songs by a number of artists, including his brother, Jockey Brown, DJ Iroy, Dennis Brown, and Gregory Isaacs. Dennis Brown, who settled in the UK during the mid-1970s, was a close friend of Brown. Together, they operated the Singers DEB music label, which produced a flurry of songs by artists based in the UK and Jamaica, including Alton Ellis, Al Campbell, Juna Delgado, Errol Dunkley, Leroy Sibbles, and the Tomlins. Marcia Simpson first met Brown as a teenager living in London during the early 1970s. As Jamaicans, we used to hang out, a whole lot of us. Castro was an in-the-streets person who promoted good shows in London, Simpson said. Brown returned to Jamaica in the late 1980s and launched New Name label and recording studio in Kingston. There, he worked with artists like Lady Saw, Mikey Spice, and Luciano. Castor Brown was also known in boxing circles as a mentor, manager, and a trainer. Fans of the popular Contender series were familiar with him in those roles for Sakima Mullins and Kamal Russell, winners of the 2014 and the 2015 middleweight titles respectively. Theresa Brown remembers her father as a kind, caring person who liked to give jokes. Everybody took on to him. Castor Brown is survived by 17 children, over 30 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren. Local government officer seriously hurt in dramatic escape from bogus cops. Fresh concerns have emerged about police stop and search methods after a local government officer was recently forced to painfully flee from men pretending to be cops. Mayor of Spanish Town Norman Scott is now appealing to the police high command to provide clear information to members of the public on what is to be expected from law enforcers doing spot checks on the nation's roadways. The call came following the incident in which a local government officer from St. Catherine sustained serious injuries after jumping from what was believed to be a bogus police vehicle with cop imposters. In outlining details of the incident at Thursday's meeting of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, Scott said the local government officer was stopped by men attired in blue denim who asked for his vehicle documents. Last week, while driving on the road, the local government officer saw a Probox motor car with men in blue denim who stopped him and asked him for documentation because they are doing spot checks for stolen vehicles. They asked him to go with them to 100-man police station, and whilst on the way to 100-man police station, he realized that they were not going in the direction of the police station, and that's why he made his escape through the motor vehicle window, Scott revealed to councillors. While opting not to state whether the local government officer is a sitting councillor or what his specific job is, the mayor disclosed that the man received several significant injuries. The man broke his shoulder and broke his leg. He's a member of the local government fraternity. I won't say whether he's a sitting councillor or not, said Scott. The mayor and the chairman of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation urged the Ministry of National Security and the police to explain the policy surrounding stop and search operations by law enforcers. Now, I want the security forces and the policymakers to issue either an update as to who are the persons who are constituted to do spot checks on the roads, because I don't want, when I'm driving, to see people who I think are police stopping me, and when I stop, it is criminals, Scott declared. He added, I don't want, when I'm driving and I see people who I suspect stopping me and I drive, it is police shooting me up because I am believed to be running away from police spot check. The mayor said the government was mandated by the people to govern, and therefore is expecting clarity on spot checks being carried out by the police. And I expect the Minister of National Security to come out strongly now and say what are the policies for the police in doing spot checks on the roads, Scott indicated. Of significance was a June 2013 ruling in the Supreme Court by Justice David Batts that the police have no power under the Road Traffic Act to arbitrarily stop motorists and search their vehicles. Batts made the ruling when he ordered the government to pay a sum of $2.8 million in damages to a motorist who was assaulted by the police when he was stopped in St. Catherine in May 2007. Batts emphasized in the judgment that lawful reasons must be given by the police for stopping and searching a motor vehicle. Shocker in court for woman who tried to con U.S. Embassy. It took a few hours into the day's court proceedings for the case involving 22-year-old Ophelia Seaton to be called up in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Friday. During that time, she sat in the gallery with her cousin and was quite chirpy. She even found time to laugh at an accused man who took an inordinately long time to write an email address. But her giggles and smiles faded into numbness when her case was called up and she realized the precarious legal position she had put herself in. Seaton is charged with 2 counts of forgery and 2 counts of uttering false documents. She was very soft-spoken in pleading guilty to all the charges. She confirmed that she went to the United States Embassy at Ligonier in St. Andrew in April and presented a consular officer with documents which stated that she had gained acceptance to the University of the West Indies, UA. However, when the embassy officials did their due diligence and checked with UA administrators, they found that the documents were forged and fraudulent. Seaton was arrested soon after. Parish Judge Von Smith seemed unbothered by Seaton's predicament. You have the money to pay the fines, ma'am? The judge asked Seaton. Yes, sir. The bail bond says $20,000, Seaton answered. But in a flash, reality sunk in when the judge informed her that the amount of the bail bond had nothing to do with the sentence of the court. Seaton's facial expression dropped dramatically when she was told that the fines that were being applied amounted to $200,000, with an alternative of 9 months in prison. Seaton's cousin was then summoned and asked if she could assist in paying the fines. The cousin answered in the negative. The judge showed some mercy, however, and gave Seaton a month to come up with the money. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.